Thanks very much, chappers. Good evening, everyone, once again. Lovely evening in East London. Still the vestiges of pale blue skies over us. A couple of smears of grey cloud as evening draws on and the players start their last warm-up before kick-off. West Ham United in the claret and blue race away to the left-hand side of the London Stadium. Really is a lovely night and a lovely game of football in front of us, I would think, Chris, because two sides unchanged. I'm running through the teams in a moment. Two sides who like to play attractive football.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. Both teams with a good start to the season. Good seasons last season, of course. Leicester winning the FA Cup, finishing fifth, falling away a little bit. West Ham falling away at the end of the season, but with a thin squad, I thought they performed really, really well, and they'll be looking for more of the same this season.
They need strengthening before the window shuts. Dawson's move completed permanently from Watford, of course, and one or two other youngsters coming in. Areola is on loan from PSG, but Lucas Fabianski stays in goal. In front of him, a back four of Sopal, Dawson, O'Connor and Cresswell, or will it be a back four? Cornell's will have duties dropping back as a left wing back. Rice and Soucek will hold in midfield. Bowen and Benrahma supporting Antonio, who needs the one goal to become their leading scorer in Premier League football outright. He's level at the moment with Paolo Di Canio. One more, by the way, for 50 in a West Ham shirt too. Leicester line up unchanged. Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Ricardo Pereira, Daniel Amati, Chalyar Soyuncu and Luke Thomas, the back four. Thomas still filling in for Ryan Bertrand, who tested positive, having played in the Community Shield but then missed out on the opening league game, the victory against Wolves. And Didi and Tielemans, good midfield duo that. Luis Perez, Maddison and Barnes supporting James Vardy up front. Vardy, of course, Jamie Vardy, still battling on, still full of pace, still full of guile, still full of goals. And this game had goals last season. 3-2 it was for West Ham United here, and they also won up at the King Power as well to complete the double over Leicester City. 3-2 it was here, with Lingard getting a couple of goals and Bowen, fine player for West Ham United on his day, scoring. Iheanacho got one that day for got a couple that day for Leicester City, I should say. He's among their substitutes today, and it's lovely to see Castagna there as well, for the first time having suffered that horrible double eye fracture in the European Championship finals. Lovely to hear the London Stadium full of noise and vibrant football support as the players of West Ham United, the match officials, the players of Leicester City and the coaching staffs take the knee. And off we go on 5 Live. West Ham United, and Leicester City. Listen to that, Chris. This stadium's often criticised for a lack of atmosphere. How about that roar at the kick-off?
Oh yeah, it's a wonderful atmosphere. You felt it coming to the game this evening. The Westfield Shopping Centre extremely busy and buzzing. Lots of West Ham supporters in their colours, looking forward to it. And what a performance from their team last season. They'll want more of the same tonight and this season.
Yes, I jogged through there, stopping at a supermarket to pick up a little light lettuce salad. Did I see you in the fast food retail outlet? I thought I saw someone of your size there.
It's a good quiz question. When was the last time you jogged?
1968. Having done 5 London marathons, by the way. I didn't see you passing me down the mall, as I always say. Anyway, here come Leicester City with Maddison into the box. Vardy's at the far post. Barnes looked for him. Good to see him fitting well, Chris, isn't it? Barnes back in the Leicester first team after his injury last season. Player of promise and guile, and he's on the ball on that left-hand side and whips in the cross, and it's headed away by tall Craig Dawson with the fair hair and the red boots inside that West Ham penalty area.
Yeah, it was a pass from Maddison into Barnes' left-hand side of the box, and Barnes just hit the first man. I think it was Dawson in the chest. Disappointing cross, really. Vardy was in there.
Now here's Antonio. It's a lovely run from him. He's already covered 15 yards. He's already deep in the Leicester territory. He chose the wrong option. He was hurtling through the middle. He could have carried it on a stride to his left-hand side. He tried to push the ball into the path of Said Benrahma, and it's through into the Leicester goalkeeper Schmeichel, who clears it away.
Yeah, brilliant play from Antonio. Strong play. Gets away from Ndidi. Drives past Soyuncu and just picked the wrong pass. Benrahma had made the run, but not on the same wavelength.
Well, West Ham spend the cash and bring in new players. Leicester have spent fairly extensively in the summer. Patson Daka, good young player, goal scorer from Salzburg. Soumari, very good player, won the title with Lille, midfield player. On the bench today, Vestergaard, centre-back from Southampton, few eyebrows raised when they let him go to a Premier League rival, not involved tonight, and Bertrand are free from Southampton, and as we said, he's out at the moment with having tested positive for COVID.
I just wonder what's up with Vestergaard. He came on as a sub in the last game, but not even on the bench this evening.
Well, if there had been any professionals in the Five Live sports commentary box, they'd have found out what was the matter with him, but I'm afraid you're left with Chris and yourself, so you'll have to guess on that front. We did try, but no message or info was forthcoming. Very interesting sitting here alongside the maestro on the Monday Night Club, and a couple of opinions I'd agree with you on, Chris, which is fairly rare, but the Brighton centre-backs play out. They're not just the giants, and Lewis Dunk is one of the best ball-playing centre-backs in the division, and it is remarkable to see the renaissance of Big Shane Duffy. He's a Brighton hero, you know, they love him. He's big in the town, he's big in the defence, and what a towering header it was the other night. Now here is Yuri Tielemans, the score of their crackerjack goal that won the cup. And forward down the right hand side to Uzi Perez, tucks it back to Ricardo Pereira, wearing yellow boots, short sleeve turquoise top for Leicester City, the change strip. They have it on the left hand side now with Harvey Barnes rolling it back to the centre half position, and Chaliot Soyuncu, little protective bandage on his left wrist.
It's an interesting setup from Leicester City. They've gone with the back four. Pereira will play high on that right hand side, and Perez will play narrow in off the right, and Maddison narrow in off the left, and they get the width from Barnes on that left hand side. Tielemans now on the ball. He'll just sit in there alongside Ndidi. West Ham are fluid with their formation. Very, very flexible. Isn't a 3-2 or 4, Jonathan?
Does that mean, though, that Ndidi and Tielemans have to be really watchful in protecting the two centre-backs, because they play very wide, or they're playing very wide apart at the moment, the two centre-backs, with that pace of Antonio up against them, Chris?
Yep, absolutely, and it's like Fornals just playing in and around Antonio. Benrahma starting on this left-hand side. He's had a good start to the season, hasn't he? Strong pre-season, plenty of goals. And off the mark against Newcastle last week.
Yeah, I think they wanted to trust last season in his first campaign in the Premier League. Didn't quite have that trust in him then. He certainly had the trust in this man in possession. Souček, what a wonderful campaign he had. Slightly jaded, I thought he looked for the Czech Republic in the summer. This is a positive run for West Ham United, coming off the left-hand side by Declan Rice, and the first effort on goal from the Hammers is plucked down safely out of the air by Kasper Schmeichel by the busy Benrahma.
I saw him score a stunning goal against his former team Brentford in pre-season. Similar sort of range, 22 yards out left-hand side of the box, and the ball just comes out to him, and he's trying to feed it into that far top corner. But Schmeichel read it well, not the pace on the shot.
Picked up an injury in training, Vestergaard. There you are, service, isn't it? We got there in the end.
No,
is that your responsibility or my responsibility?
I think it's down to the producer.
He got the information, I have to tell you, actually, so well done, John.
After kick-off, well done, John.
Yes. He's paid to do the job, we're just the amateurs who pop up for fun now and again. Now here's Uzi Perez, to Pereira, Amati, back here then to Soyuncu with that familiar hairstyle, little bun at the back of his head, tied back. Rolled to the Turkish international, didn't they? Disappoint in the Euros. Turkey, good players, a couple of the Lille champions in the league, are really, really below par. in those finals, and Chuensu angles the ball on a diagonal to the right-hand touchline, and you thought that Pereira had jumped into Cresswell. Referee's having a look at it, but no decision as yet made by Michael Oliver in terms of a foul. I thought it was a foul, Chris.
It seemed that way. Chuensu with a raking ball out to this right-hand side. It's a Leicester attack, and Ricardo Pereira just jumps into Cresswell. The ball sailing out for a throw-in anyway to West Ham, but has to be a free kick. That was a clear and obvious foul, Jonathan, if there's such a thing.
But as Mike Riley was telling us in that pre-season Premier League sort of video thing meeting that we all had,
Zoom,
that's the one, let the game flow with higher threshold for awarding fouls.
Video thing, yeah?
Yes, there you are.
Because the last time we were discussing this before kick-off, last time we were here, we were having a discussion from our commentary position to the far corner flag, and what did you say it was? Was it 600 metres?
Yes, yeah, came back in the summer because I'm diligent, and I did mark it out. I was wrong, Chris. 602 metres to the far corner flag. It's a long, long way, I can tell you. There's Turner in the claret and blue, kicking from right to left in his first half on 5 Live on the BBC, and it's goalless with 8 minutes played. Antonio loses his bearings, the ball just popped up high over his head. Ricardo Pereira was there to get it away. Leicester will be hoping that he has a whole season without an injury after that knee ligament problem of 2020. But what a 2021 they've had under Brendan Rodgers. FA Cup winners back in Europe, Community Shield winners. They were 11th when he took over back in February of 2019. 9 trophies in his last 5 years as a manager up at Celtic and at Leicester City. Learned from the mistakes made at Liverpool perhaps. Well, let's not forget he was manager of the year in 2013-14 and had a win rate of over 50%. Not bad at all.
And you think last season they had big injury problems, didn't they, Leicester City? And they've started the season that way in many respects. No Evans, Fofana got a really bad injury in pre-season.
That was a horrible one, wasn't it? Against Villarreal, and broke his leg. James Justin, of course.
Yeah,
he's been out since February. Had a very good breakthrough season.
Well, you think last season, the way he started the season, arguably the best fullback in the Premier League, he was that good.
I was at Arsenal yesterday, and they were so disappointed. I was baffled by the fact that they were saying they had 9 important players out injured or ill. I couldn't work out who the 9 were.
Probably couldn't work out 3 of them.
Here's Chuensu. He's about 800 yards away from us on that far side, I would say. And Leicester have possession. Back to him. Part of that Leicester City Cup-winning defence. Important for them now. He's not a veteran. He's still in his mid-20s. But he needs to speak of Marty through. Marty's played few games for them really over the years now. Here come Leicester City down that left-hand side. Maddison into Barnes, who's gone into a more central position. Out to the young fullback Thomas. The Leicester momentum just outside the right-hand side of the West Ham United penalty area, but stepping out to clear it away is going to be Sopal. Pound for pound, what bargain, Sopal and Souček for West Ham United. And I was looking through my notes before kick-off, you know, Chris. Aaron Cresswell, 239 games for West Ham United now. £3.75 million 7 years ago. What value he's given.
Yeah, incredible piece of business. So good at set plays, isn't he? Got a wand for a left foot. You talk about David Moyes and there's a lack of activity in terms of bringing players in. They have to compete in the Europa League this season, and the squad is very, very thin, Jonathan.
David Moyes is a pin-up boy in our house, Chris, I have to admit. I have to reveal this to the nation. Yes, indeed, my mum, he's a pin-up boy from my mum, Sheila. She's 91, bless her. And she's his poster boy. West Ham United attacking down the Leicester attacking down the West Ham right hand side, blocked, and the hammers were cleared away now. Dawson has given O'Donnell a little bit too much to do, but the ball rolls away then towards Cresswell, and O'Donnell sweeps it to the halfway line with strong challenge there on Cornels, who's gone down, and the referee blows against Wilfred Ndidi.
Cornels gets there first and lays the ball off, and Ndidi catches him. I was going to suggest about your mum, Jonathan, with the greatest respect, are her eyes going at 91 if David Moyes is the pin-up boy?
Well, she remembers him when he came down to Bristol City. He was at Bristol City for a while. Yeah, I've got to mention him. I've got to mention him. Bit of a tenuous link. Chappers would appreciate it. Anyway, took a while. But here's Bowen on that right-hand side for West Ham United. Swings it away. Good ball, 30-40 yards. Picked up by Cresswell. Back into the centre circle. Dawson is there again. 5 live from the BBC. 0-0. 12 minutes gone. So far with a cross into the middle. Over the head of Cornell. Scraped away. Here's Declan Rice. Great yells of shoot. And he does so. And it bends and it drops behind the goal. To those massed West Ham United fans low behind Kasper Schmeichel's goal kick.
Yeah, the ball whipped in from the right hand side. Soufal, not the greatest of clearances, and as it drops to Declan Rice when he's 25 yards out, shifts the ball onto his right foot, but shut down by Ndidi really well. The shot sailed over the Leicester City bar.
Apart from that West Ham double last season, Leicester City have got a good record against them. They're looking for their 50th win in 137 meetings. They've lost just once away in the last 6 visits to West Ham. 4 defeats home and away in the last 15 meetings. And O'Donnell has it once again. Here's Soufal, right-hand side, the Czech Republic international, tightly done by Bowen back to Souček, but they've given it away. 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards maybe into that West Ham United half. It's picked up again by Tielemans to Maddison, left-hand corner of the West Ham United boxes. Leicester will see it, and they're attacking that penalty area now. Barnes tries to trick his way through. Too many clown blue shirts back there. It's looped away then towards 20-year-old Luke Thomas. He's lost possession to Fornals, and it's blocked on that far side. Indeed, covering ground to block it for Leicester City. West Ham picking up again. Bowen sweeps the ball to change the play, curls it brilliantly 60 yards away to Aaron Cresswell. 2 yards inside the left-hand touchline, making inroads now into the Leicester half is Declan Rice. Little touch off by Antonio, asking too much of Benrahma, and it's cut back by Ricardo Pereira to Schmeichel.
Antonio has to be cleaner with this touch there. Benrahma had made the run off him. Just heavy with the touch, and the chance gone. But both teams in these early stages looking more of a threat when they're in transition, when they win the ball back and looking to pounce. I think that suited West Ham last season, and Leicester's away record was exceptional, Jonathan, I think.
I think only 2 clubs had a better record away from home than Leicester City last season. Live EFL Cup commentaries on the next couple of nights, by the way, on 5 Live. Details in a moment, because here's Antonio trundling through to the edge of the Leicester penalty area and shoots, and he'll be disappointed with the quality of the effort. He never really got caught hold of it properly, and it bobbled and bounced and went well wide, and Schmeichel didn't even have to make a save.
Oh, he has that drive and that pace and power. Gets away from Ndidi, just shrugs him off and drives the space. Soyuncu shuts him down. That's a tame effort, really. Gets to the edge of the Leicester penalty area and slices his shot 7 or 8 yards wide of Schmeichel's left-hand post.
Both going to play. West Ham United have a breather and a throw in their left full-back position. So tomorrow, Barrow against Aston Villa in the EFL on 5 Live Sport. Reporters at 10 other cup games. Wednesday, West Brom against Arsenal. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off in the EFL. And then from 10 o'clock, Ian Botham in conversation with Ellie Oldroyd. Headingley, 81, 40 years ago. Goodness me. I remember I was in a car driving between Luton and Harpenden when that test match reached its crescendo. I pulled into a lay-by, and a young lady at the time didn't really want to listen to cricket anyway. Didn't really last long, that relationship, but don't worry about it. Life goes on.
I can imagine.
Some things are more important. Chris and Ian Botham on the rampage, and Bob Willis and Headingley. What a cricket match that was. You remember that one, don't you?
Yeah, do you know what? I was at first school then. I'm a lot younger than you, and I remember asking my teacher whether England had won, and it was Willis with 5 wickets, wasn't it?
Yeah, last day that was, wasn't it? Now it's just chipped away by Dawson and swept out by Rice. Not that much younger than me. I just started romancing earlier.
Yeah, you were in a lay-by in Harpenden, and I was at first school.
Here's a throw on that left-hand side. Stirring up.
Where's the other half live?
Fairly unpleasant images for the listeners, I have to admit. The possession here is Daniel and Marty.
Not just the listeners.
Ruford Ndidi. Back then to Soyuncu. We have stirred some unpleasant images over the years. There was that trip down to Bournemouth that time, Chris. Goodness me, let's not remind people of that naked display. Ricardo Pereira on the right-hand side, yarding from the right-hand touchline for Leicester City. Goalless, 18 minutes play. Ben Rama back to him by Soucek. Antonio's in a good position, but then all of a sudden masked by the positioning of Ndidi, so he couldn't get the ball into the West Ham centre. They keep possession of the Hammers at 0-0. Bonner has it with the floodlights shining off the ball pate, and it's chipped forward by Cresswell in the left full position, left full back position up towards Antonio, who turns and twists and runs at Marty and finds Ben Rama in support, left hand corner of the box. Back it goes to Antonio. Antonio switches it to his left foot, then good block challenge by Ricardo Pereira, who thought it was a goal kick. The referee gives corner, says it came off the Leicester man last.
He looks up for it tonight, doesn't he, Antonio? Twice he likes to drift out to the left hand side. Played a lovely little pass into Ben Rama, and as the ball came out to him, drove to the byline, attempted to cross the ball. Good challenge from Pereira, but West Ham, good set piece team.
And they had their first corner, I think it is, of the game on the left hand side. Soucek is in the middle there with Dawson. Owen feinted to take the corner kick. It's whipped into the near post area by Sofal, and Leicester City cleared away to Maddison, who's strongly challenged by Cornell, too strongly, says the referee once again. Michael Oliver, who was out in the Euros and did so well in his 3 games. He had that Spain-Switzerland that went to penalties, had a player off in that game, did well, and gives that free kick. Whoa, how much contact was there, Chris?
I think Maddison knows exactly what he's doing there. Bit of a soft one.
And this was the game last season
where West Ham ended up winning the game 3-2, and Maddison was left out. Brendan Rodgers had that difficult decision to make. Maddison had been out, I think, to a party. You think, was that the game which derailed Leicester's Champions League prospects last season?
They had to bounce back very quickly, didn't they? They had the cup semi-final against Southampton the following week. It came on the back of a defeat against Manchester City, and they did subside as they had done the previous campaign, but still a remarkable season for Leicester City. Here's Barnes, edge of the penalty, looks for Maddison. Rice gets in with a steal challenge. Should he have gone off in that championship final for England against Italy at Wembley? But anyway, the chance here is wasted. The ball hit too long by Yuri Tillemans, and away through for a goal kick, away to our right hand side to West Ham.
Tillemans on the half turn, halfway inside the West Ham half, trying a difficult pass to Pereira, who's marauding on the right hand side, straight out of play.
He had some season, Tillemans, last season, and he was a league ever present. Good Euros, where Belgium possibly flattered only to deceive. Leicester had possession halfway inside the West Ham half, 0-0, 5 live, 21 minutes played. Maddison on the ball, wristbands on both wrists, he looked exasperated. There was no movement up front for him, and the West Ham cleared it away towards Antonio, who tries to spin 10 yards inside his own half, takes a tumble, falls on his backside under pressure. No great pressure from Ndidi, it has to be said. And Leicester work it wide to Ricardo Pereira. This is a good run by Oisi Perez, chops the cross in, and now springs Łukasz Fabianski to make a comfortable catch.
Yeah, disappointing cross from Perez. Had time to pick one of his teammates out in the box, but straight at Fabianski. I was just thinking, we haven't seen anything of Jamie Vardy
No.
So far, but you often don't need to.
So there to the right-hand side of Ogbonna, between Ogbonna and the fullback Cresswell. Just waiting for an opportunity. Standing offside at the moment is Leicester have the ball way back inside their own half. Amati side puts it forward then. Who is it, Perez? Trying to slip it into Vardy in that position on the shoulder of Bonner. We've got the block in. Back to Tielemans. Switches play. Looks for Harvey Barnes. Too much weight on the pass and it speeds away for a throw into West Ham United, and disparaging yells from the West Ham fans. Some 10-15 feet, maybe a little bit more behind us. Oh, there they are, just behind you, Chris, actually. Oh, there's that big one who's glowering at you. And I wouldn't make any plans for later on in life, Chris, the way he's glowering at you, by the way. I'll give you, I know his address, I'll give it to you later. Anyway, let's move on. And it's a throw to West Ham on the right-hand side. I remember being in the old Upton Park and working with Bobby Moore, and he's a massive West Ham fan. He was yelling and screaming abusive language, and we hadn't seen the sights of him. And the producer on the talkback said, "You've got to stop the man swearing. You've got to stop the man swearing." We looked around, and the man's huge, Chris. He's 6'19", but 83 stone, skinhead, tattoos, and everything like that. And Bobby Moore, bless him, just turned and said to the producer, he's speaking on air. He didn't remember he was on air. He said, "Peter, the West Ham fan can say exactly what he wants to say tonight." And on we went. Here's Cresswell for West Ham. Back to Ogbonna, 0-0. Takes the return. Title-winning former Juventus centre-back. Right-hand side then is Dawson. Dawson slides it away to the right full-back position. So Ballard pushed on. It's given Bowen a little bit too much to do. Solange just hammers it out of play, under no great pressure there between the penalty box and the far touchline.
No nonsense defending. Got to say, I like Bowen. He's the one who'll really stretch the Leicester back line.
Ooh, under pressure here, Leicester. Cannon of a shot from outside the penalty area by Souček. Rebounded away to Rice, halfway inside the Leicester half. He side puts it away to Benrahma with a tinted hair. Back to Rice, upright, white boots, edge of the penalty area. Finds Fornals. He's a man the manager trusts. In comes across from Benrahma, headed away powerfully just inside that Leicester City penalty area. It's headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box, I should say, by Suanchu. And now Leicester cleared away then to Jamie Vardy. Vardy plays back to the heart of midfield. Maddison couldn't clear his feet. Does so in the end. Scrambles it away to the right back, Ricardo Pereira. 0-0. Leicester haven't really tested the West Ham goal at all. We've had 3 efforts off target by the Hammers so far. Thought the game would have goals. Not yet, though. 8 goals in the 2 games last season. The previous year, Leicester beat West Ham at home 4-1 and triumphed on this ground by a couple of goals. Iheanacho got one that day as well. He got a good record actually against West Ham as Iheanacho. But Hammers now come on the attack. Lovely dummy. Goes the ball through to Fornals. Whips it to the left-hand side. Cross comes on back in the penalty area. Brilliant goal. West Ham take the lead. Brilliant goal. Fornals at the heart of it all. Out he went wide to the left-hand side. Then Rama clipped a low pass. And Fornals had continued the run. And as he met it left-footed, he steered it beyond Kasper Schmeichel. And Leicester was sliced wide open. And West Ham take the lead after 25 minutes on 5 live sport.
It's absolutely stunning from West Ham. It's actually Jamie Vardy who gives the ball away in the middle of the park. We speak about West Ham in transition, and they just break so quickly. Soyuncu, a straight pass into Vardy. Vardy should do better. Misplaced pass into Rice. Rice quickly into Bowen. He prods the ball forward to Fornals, who pops it out to the left-hand side. Benrahma, first time cross. Fornals carries his run on. And Benrahma's cross into Fornals' path. He must be, 12 yards out, and it bounces just before him. And he just controls the touch into the far corner. No chance for Schmeichel.
Should Leicester be looking at Ndidi there, Chris, because he started to trap Fornals and then stopped.
Absolutely right, but take nothing away from the goal. It's brilliant from West Ham, and this stadium has gone berserk. It really has.
Bubbles are being blown from the machines down in front of the West Ham dugout. Bubbles that have floated so high and then been burst on so many seasons of despair and wrecked dreams. And now they can hope, West Ham United supporters, they have a fine manager, a fine coaching setup, and the embryo of a fine team.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Declan Rice before. I thought he was excellent in the summer. The last 30 minutes at Newcastle last week, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable he was, and that was him who broke the play up to start that counter-attack for West Ham.
Leicester hit long for Barnes coming off the left-hand side. Not his game, that, to try and win it in the air against Dawson. Still seen precious little of Jamie Vardy, but to give him credit where it's due, or the benefit of the doubt I should say, he's had no sort of service. As we look down at David Moyes in his technical area, what a difference he's made at West Ham United. There were eyebrows raised when they brought him back to the club for his second spell in December 2019. But he's plotted a course. His win rate now as West Ham manager, second time around, higher than in those much vaunted Everton days. He guided into Europe 3 times. And there is a real sense this year that West Ham can push on from the last campaign. And it was such a good season for them, 6th, and here they have possession. With the ball rolled away then to Ben Rama from Fornals. He's played a major role over the last 14 months for West Ham. This number 8, Pablo Fornals from Castellón in Spain. And he's a lovely ball inside the fullback, and he finds Sofao, the cross into the middle, a diving header away by the alert Marty in West Ham United, and knocking at the door again. Better crossing from Sofao, and the header this time is just wide. A powerful header inside the 6-yard area by Souček.
Such a clever mover, Souček. The ball out on that right-hand side, whipped in, and Souček gets across the near post so well and powers a header. That's not far away. Leicester City are rattled. What a start from West Ham United. They're the team with the intensity. They let Leicester have the ball at the back, and as soon as the ball goes into midfield, they are pouncing.
Talk about the West Ham coaching staff. Stuart Pearce, Old England Lionheart, of course, is sitting just behind us, taking copious notes. I think he's taking notes on our delivery, actually, Chris. And again, I wouldn't want to argue with Stuart, would you?
You're arguing with Psycho.
No. Biggest thighs I've ever known in football, Stuart Pearce. They were immense, huge. And not that I was looking too closely, I understand. Anyway, but Jose Perez forward to the edge of the penalty area. Vardy back to Tielemans, and he finds the right touchline now, and Pereira advances into the box. Now he lays it back to Jose Perez. Pereira, good chance! Oh, leant off it and hammered it behind the goal. Always leaning off it, always likely to go one way, and it launched wide.
That was an opportunity, and it's Ricardo Pereira feeds the ball into Perez on the 18-yard line and just carries his run on. And Perez slides the ball with his instep to Pereira, who slips as he shoots. The angle against him. Brendan Rodgers applauds. Good move. It's a good move, but they haven't done enough. So far, Leicester City haven't shown enough going forward.
Half an hour played, West Ham leading by a goal to 0. Apart from all the EFL Cup news tomorrow and the live action, you'll hear the scorelines coming in from the Champions League playoff second leg matches Tuesday and Wednesday, of course. And as the big clubs in the Premier League wait later on this week, I think it is, to find out who they'll be meeting in the group stage. Ballon d'Or's announced Thursday, isn't it? Here's Ogbonna now at the back for West Ham United to play out to the halfway line, where it's met by Chuinchu. Saturday, by the way, we have live action from Aston Villa against Brentford. That's our commentary game from 3 o'clock, but of course all the grounds covered, whipping around all the grounds for all the score news as the ball hits the back of the net. Sunday, Rangers against Celtic at 12, Tottenham Watford at 2, Wolves Manchester United at 4:30. You up there, Ibrox?
No, I'm not up this week.
You've been dropped?
Should be a good one.
You've been dropped? You can admit it to me, no one's listening, so just whisper it quietly. You've been dropped? You've been dropped?
Yeah.
Don't worry, big man, you'll be back. I have every faith in you.
I'm used to being dropped.
Well, Chelsea, here's Suanchu, away to the left-hand side. Has it back again. We always get that when, don't know. Leicester have possession of Martin, across the halfway line, trailing 1-0. That's a nice little laugh from Madison. Jose Perez has it now, inside right position. Back towards Ndidi. To his left is Tielemans, back again to Suanchu. West Ham just holding deep, line of 4, then a sort of a ragged line of 4, and the two main front runners. It's an astute pass into what a challenge by Declan Rice to win it back for West Ham United. But Leicester pick it up again with Pereira, who's becoming an increasing force in the game. Jose Perez, bad miss. He played it in Ricardo Pereira. Madison slipped it back to Jose Perez and he hooked it poorly wide.
Wonderful touch from Madison. The ball fired into him, and as deft as you like, outside of the right foot, just lays the ball back into Perez's path, who's 16 yards out, and he pulls his shot horribly wide of Fabianski's right hand post.
Big season for young Madison?
Oh, I think so. I think he owes Brendan Rodgers one. I really do. I think last season, we know what a talented player he is. I don't think we saw the best of him last season. We question his application a little bit. What with the incident where we talked about him being left out of the West Ham game. There used to be the great debate, Grealish and Madison, who would you take? Not a difficult one at this moment in time.
Bowen for West Ham, right hand side, just inside his own half, lifts it forward, and across comes Charlie Churinchu. Launches himself in the air and sort of can kicks it out towards the far side. 5 live from the BBC, 33 minutes gone, West Ham 1, Leicester 0. And the throw forward down that right hand touchline to Antonio gives him far too much work to do. And there's good pressure by Bowen on Suanchu, really good pressure. The Turkish defender just dwelt on the ball, trying to shepherd it out of play, like they do, and Bowen's having none of it, and he whipped his foot around, deflected it off the big defender, and it's going to be a corner to West Ham United.
It's brilliant from Bowen, it really is. Chasing down lost causes. Suanchu trying to let that one run out, and Bowen slides around him, challenges him, and here he is with the corner. Left-footed in-swinger.
Bowen will take it. Decent delivery towards the far post area. Bonner came in like an express train. Not too sure whether he got the last touch or whether Dawson got the last touch, but it's wide anyway. Big opportunity that.
It's a great ball in. It really is. Whipped him with all sorts of pace on the ball. The in-swinger. It was Dawson who gets up, but 5 or 6 yards out. Gets a touch, it drifts past the far post. We've seen him score so many goals from that sort of position. It's an opportunity. West Ham, I feel they should be 2 up.
Down there the West Ham coaches, David Moyes, I think it's Paul Nevin to his right hand side, thought it was in. Now here's Leicester City inside the centre circle with Ndidi at to goal, allowed to turn, play it away towards that left-hand touchline via Luke Thomas, who gets it back also. Nasty niggly little challenge. The ball had gone when he was caught there by Bowen. He's apologised. Referee may visit it. Would have done last season, not too sure this. Now here's Pereira. The game is flowing more than it did last season. Our two managers have had their say on it over the last 48 hours or so, but interesting to hear the reaction of Chris and others over the last 48 hours as well, saying they haven't seen anything really that bad to mutter about. And it's Leicester in possession. I think it's been a breath of fresh air the way the referees are treating this season, Chris.
Yep, we're only 2 games in though.
Tielemans angles it into the penalty area, running there by Madison, and straight through to the goalkeeper Łukasz Fabianski. Under pressure these days, of course, with the arrival of Areola. Very good goalkeepers at Fulham last season. Here's Antonio picking it up 30 yards from goal. Direct run edge of the penalty. It didn't get a shout. There's a man on. Indeed, he dispossessed him. One or two West Ham fans thought that he just nicked the back of Antonio's heel as he dispossessed.
I think he did get a shout from maybe 40,000 supporters in the stadium. But indeed, he did well, didn't he? indeed he did, to get back and make that challenge.
Here's Cresswell. Oh, you make me chuckle. And here's Dawson out to that right-hand touchline. Down the right-hand touchline by Sofal. And Leicester tidy up back to them towards Kasper Schmeichel. Won't be long before he becomes the Leicester goalkeeper with the most appearances for the club. I wouldn't think Schmeichel. He's rolled that out. West Ham looked to win it back quickly, pounced with the high press, and Fornals has stayed down. Jose Perez was in contact with him as a look back over his shoulder to see if the West Ham player is okay. He's rolling on the ground halfway inside the Leicester half. Danny Nomati's just tapped on him as well, and now Antonio goes over to have a look. I don't think they're unduly bothered about this, are they? Mind you, Antonio's just looked to the bench, and they want the physio on.
Yes, it really. Oh, I tell you, it looks horrible. That really does from Perez. He's stumbling off balance, and he stamps on Fornals. I think it's his left ankle. And it's a crunching challenge, I think. Jose Perez saying, it was accidental. The ball was played up to him and Cresswell goes in all the way. Perez took a bit of a heavy touch. Fornals takes a sore one there. He's maybe fortunate to escape without getting some sort of card. I mean, that is...
It's been checked, Chris. A serious foul play.
I think it's accidental, but the more you look at it, the more you see this, the more you think, will he see red for this? He's going to go to the monitor, I think.
Darren England, the VAR has asked him to go to the monitor.
And I like this, Jonathan. Make your own mind up, Michael Oliver. Wouldn't surprise me either way here.
Well, he's looking at the screen.
I mean, as a still shot, he's going to give a red card. As a still shot, when he sees it, as he is doing now. Or is he seeing that now? But as you see it as a still, Jonathan, that's a red card all day long, isn't it?
Yeah. He's going to go here, I think. Is he? Yeah, he's going to go. He's called the player towards him. And he is sent off. Leicester are alarmed. And the red card is given. Kasper Schmeichel is trying to explain that there was a stumble, that it was accidental. It's not going to change the decision now.
No, it's not. And, it's interesting him seeing it as a still. But he is off balance. I mean,
they've just shown it to the crowd.
It looks horrible at the point. But Perez saying, "I'm trying to get my body in there."
Well, he's off. Well, you always say Perez. He's just explaining to Declan Rice the nature of the challenge. Kasper Schmeichel is still complaining, and Maddison too. And Leicester are irate 5 minutes before the end of the first half. They are reduced to 10 men with a standing off of Jose Perez.
Things getting pretty heated down there in the Leicester technical area. They're dragging Perez off.
I think it's the first sending off of his career. I can't remember any at Newcastle or Tenerife. Should they look at the still picture? Should they look at a moving picture?
But there's an argument that Perez is fouled in the first place from Cresswell. He, is clearly off balance when the challenge comes in. But he does catch Fornals, and it does seem high above his ankle. Well, it is high above his ankle. But he's stumbling, isn't he?
You can't complain with that. You can't complain with that, can you? He's caught him high.
Well, the biggest thing is, which I like, Michael Oliver going over to the monitor and making the decision himself.
Down on that Leicester bench, Brendan Rodgers turns and has a little word with Kolo Touré down there, member of his coaching staff, of course, and they're 1-0 down. They're down to 10. 3.5 minutes to go plus stoppage time in the first half at the London Stadium on 5 Live. Cresswell with a free kick in, and it bends all the way through and drops out of play and runs towards the far side, and the lurid red and white advertising hoarding on that far side. Well, it's a talking point, certainly.
Well, I wonder whether Brendan Rodgers will say that there was it was a foul on Perez initially. There was a shove, hence why he was off balance. But when you see the still of it, there's no surprise Michael Oliver giving a red card.
Now Leicester drive forward, look for the pace of Vardy, but given far too much work to do by Ndidi, and West Ham United can roll it away then towards Cresswell.
And now they're shaping up Leicester City. Maddison has come out to the right hand side. Tielemans and Ndidi, as they were before, centrally. Barnes on the left and Vardy up there on his own. West Ham will still have to be watchful at the back.
They haven't given Vardy any sort of service whatsoever. He's cut an isolated figure too long. Barnes hasn't been able to get into the game. Maddison, one or two moments. Here's Rice, lengthens his stride, rolls it to the left touchline. Cresswell down the line to Benrahma. Here's Antonio, who's come to the left hand side, cups his body, makes himself strong, and the challenge Ricardo Pereira buffets him from behind, but he'd made his body low. Wonderful footballer called Jerry Gow taught me that when I was a young man. Make your body low, make it like a boulder, don't stand tall like a willow. Willows get shot down. In comes across by Aaron Cresswell, and it's cleared away to the edge of the penalty area, where it's picked up again, and Antonio gets a shot away. But West Ham are asking the question, was Fornells, as he dribbled into the penalty area, fouled? He went down, but there wasn't a great appeal from West Ham. I think he just lost possession, and Antonio couldn't convert the second, but they're pressurising hard now. So check then towards Fornells. Back again, it comes to Rice, the pivot for everything. They've got the extra space against 10 men Leicester. Cresswell has it. 10 yards outside that Leicester penalty area. Finds Fornells, into the box it goes. Looking for the run of Souček. Comes back out to Souček. He has his Czech Republic international teammate on that far right-hand touchline, hugging the line. So foul to Bowen. Gives it back again to the right full-back. And in support on that far side, away from us, is Dawson, who made such a difference to West Ham last season, stabilised the defence. Rice, they're keeping possession, they're keeping the momentum going. Tidy, precise 10-15 yard passes, right square, and Dawson angles it again away to that right-hand touchline on 5 line. West Ham leading by a goal to 0. Here's Bowen, twisting, turning, losing his man into the penalty on right-hand side. Gets across, and Antonio, downward header. Surprised the ball came to him, had no sort of power behind the header, headed it down. It bounced harmlessly up, there's a foul in there now.
Antonio looking to the heavens. He knows it's brilliant play from Bowen. Right-hand side of the box. Turns away from Thomas. Drives towards the byline and stands the ball up right-footed, and it goes all the way through to Antonio, drifts over Ricardo Pereira's head, and Antonio just isn't expecting it, hits him in the face, drops down, and somehow Leicester City scramble the ball to safety.
West Ham leading by a goal to 0. We're entering 4 minutes of stoppage time. The Hammers have had only 38% of the ball, but they've had 7 shots, 2 on target. Leicester have not had an effort on target despite 60% of the possession thus far. We're into that stoppage time period, and it'll be interesting to hear what Clogger Chapman says at half-time about the sending off incident. Rumour has it, I haven't seen the excellent Mark, the speedy centre-back playing in Sunday football, but from more reports that I've heard from even his close friends, that it's remarkable he stays on for more than 7 minutes per game. Here's Rice, crosses the halfway line, back into the centre circle then, and that's long by Souček away then to Sofal, right-hand touchline, drops his shoulder, tries to get beyond Luke Thomas, who stayed with them all, and then unfortunately for the 20-year-old, he just flicked out a foot and caught the wily, more experienced Czech Republic international who turned 27 yesterday, and it's a free kick for West Ham United just inside that far touchline.
Yeah, it's a needless challenge from Thomas on Sufal. He catches him clearly, very naive, and we saw Bowen's last delivery. Here he is again, left-footed in-swinger.
Fornells has now scored 3 goals in his last 3 games for West Ham, as many as he managed in his previous 43. He's in there again, the same in towards Antonio. Fornells was hanging deep on the edge of the penalty area. If it came out to him, he's a potent force, and Antonio's threatening presence at the near post forced a header away for a Corner kick then for West Ham. Again, Bowen will take it, so he'll curl this in. Left-footed, Souček and Dawson prepare their runs. Rice is on the edge of the 6-yard area. Leicester are defending part zonally in there. In comes a corner. Antonio flicks it on, hits Vardy, and Leicester should get it away now through Tielemans. Rice again dispossessing, but unfairly. It's a free kick for Leicester City. Tielemans was caught there. Rice picks him up, pats him on the backside, and will go on. What a European Championships he had, Declan Rice. Really matured, became an outstanding individual in those few weeks. Brendan Rodgers, meanwhile, is taking those notes. He does. He flicks the top of his biro and puts it back inside his breast pocket of that smart slate grey suit, and stands in that Leicester technical area to the left-hand touchline. Fourth official on the halfway line is Graham Scott, and we're deep into stoppage time now. Certainly the red card is getting a lot of reaction on social media. Mixed reaction. The red card is ridiculous, says one. What on earth are Leicester moaning about, says another. Social media, it's a wonderful thing, can be.
Look, I mean, most West Ham, well, virtually every West Ham fan will say it's a red card, and Leicester City fans will say that's harsh.
Yeah.
Here's Maddison, right hand touchline, just curls the ball 20 yards away to his left hand side and deeper back into his own half, where Churinchu will tap it forward, right foot, and then sweeps his left to angle the ball to the right hand touchline. Looks for Pereira deep inside the West Ham half. West Ham clear it away, and they should manage this lead, a lead given to them by Fornells. We were talking about managers trusting players. He certainly has the trust of David Moyes and his coaching staff. He's played in all but 6 of the last 51 games now, and his goal separates the sides, and West Ham United go in deservedly 1-0 up, Chris, and up against 10 men Leicester now with the sending off of Oyueze Perez.
Yeah, but Leicester have a mountain to climb. You have to say, though, West Ham were the better team, 11v11. Just pounced on a misplaced pass from Jamie Vardy, and then from Declan Rice, and the ball played forward. A lovely finish from Fornells, but they've deserved it. They've been the dominant team, West Ham. Full stadium here at the London Stadium, and the home fans are very happy.
And they're leading by a goal to 0 West Ham, and everyone get ready to shudder and quake, because in he comes with one of those famous interceptions. It's Mark Chapman. We are, yeah, there's horrible scenes in France and a couple of weeks ago, and the authorities have really got to hit hard. Nice and the offenders and all the players and the manager who was involved, Sampaoli, needed to be calmed down and got away from the situation. I don't think we've heard the end of that, Mark. I think that story will run on for the next 2 or 3 weeks, and French authorities have got to get the grips. Anyway, here they've still got to get to grips. West Ham United 1-0 down, and down to 10 men with the sending off of Oyueze Perez midway through that first half for a very nasty looking challenge. The referee consulted VAR and then went to look at the screen and pulled out the red card, and West Ham United attacking the goal away to a right hand side in the second half in their cloud of blue and white shorts, more claret than blue these days, of course. A little blue stripe down the shoulders and the arms, and it's Declan Rice, who had a strong first half now for West Ham United in possession. Fabianski's their goalkeeper, Sofal and Dawson, Ogbonna and Cresswell their back 4, and Rice and Souček the heart of the midfield, and Bowen and Benrahma and Fornells the creators behind the pace of Antonio. Leicester City in their sort of turquoise and dark blue shorts then, with Schmeichel in goal, Pereira, Marti, Suenchu and Thomas, Didi and Tielemans. Maddison now to the right hand side, Barnes to the left hand side, and Jamie Vardy through the middle. Though Maddison has gone very narrow at the start of this second half into a sort of 10 position again, Chris, which will allow space, I presume, for Pereira to bomb forward down that right hand side.
Yeah, absolutely, and Barnes really hanging out on the left hand touchline, staying nice and wide.
A little twist by Brendan Rodgers and his coaching staff at half time. Fornells picked it up for West Ham United. spoons the ball away to the far side. Benrahma, lots of time, lots of space, can bring it down, stroke it into Antonio. There's the give and go, back to Benrahma. It was well read though by Leicester's Pereira, and they can clear it away. And you can see from the way they cleared it away up towards Vardy, it didn't hit Jamie Vardy, but Pereira was off and running. And that must be the instruction. You're the one who gets forward. You're the one who bombs up there and gets support when you can.
Yeah, look, in the second half, you think that West Ham would start to dominate the ball with a numerical advantage, and they'll push Leicester City back. But what we do know is that's when Leicester are at their most dangerous. Jamie Vardy still has great pace, doesn't he? Space in behind, and Leicester will be looking for that one ball, that one long pass in behind.
Just a couple of short of his 150 for the club. That's the Leicester City number 9.
Interesting at half-time, Jonathan. Sorry to butt in. I don't do that often with you, but Kasper Schmeichel having a word with Michael Oliver down the tunnel. They're clearly unhappy with the sending off.
Quite right, you don't do that often. Say sorry.
Sorry.
They're not happy, are they? Did I see you speaking to one of the West Ham coaching staff at half-time?
Back at West Ham, Billy McKinley, my old roommate at Blackburn, the Badger, as he was known.
An extensive coaching staff here, all good football people, I think. West Ham have possession. Fornals finding space just inside the Leicester half, and about 10 yards in from that far left-hand touchline. Or was it? I think it might have been. No, it was Fornals. Now it's Souček. Souček back into the semicircle. Rice has it again. Fornals wants it, pointing to his feet. Give it to me here. We're in turquoise boots, trying to squirt it out to Cresswell. Leicester have bodies back to block, and they clear up to Vardy. Bounces off. Well, Vardy laid it off, I should say. Harley bounces it. Bounce awkwardly for him. And West Ham pick it up once again, and Leicester can't get into the game, and it started the second half trading 1-0. So far, a little layoff there by Bowen, and Souček arrived, had the stretch. 3 Leicester players were converging on him, and as he stretched, he just lifted the shot over.
Yeah, great run from Souček, but what a touch from Bowen. The ball fizzed into him on the right-hand touchline. Little deft touch on the inside, and Souček driving run, actually toe pokes the ball. He's under pressure from Tielemans, toe pokes the ball over the Leicester bar, the angle against him.
Producer John has confirmed that was Jose Perez's first red card in English football, his 274th appearance. Going to West Ham United, 1-0 up on 5 Live on the BBC. Big crowd at the London Stadium, and West Ham on the attacking defence. Strong challenge by Soyuncu. Stopped Bowen in his tracks. That needed to be timed well.
I tell you what, that was all in from Soyuncu, and he did get the ball, but he was off his feet, and then you're thinking, you get that wrong. An easy decision for Michael Oliver. Still a corner to West Ham, and they have looked dangerous, haven't they?
What a stonking challenge there by the centre half. Needed to win it, needed to time it, got it away for a corner kick. And Bowen will take it on the right hand side. Don't expect him to score a bundle of goals. Don't put that pressure on his shoulders. That's what David Moyes said when he arrives. He's a good player though, he's a talented player. He whips that corner and Schmeichel got it away under pressure. Bounced awkwardly for Benrahma, but West Ham still have possession. Fornals again dropping cleverly back out wide, deeper into space, halfway inside the Leicester half, right hand side. Bentonicious ball, Antonio, what a save! Antonio's header, 5 yards out, so Schmeichel sprung to his left hand side and pushed it away. Really top notch goalkeeping, and West Ham pick it up again, halfway inside the Leicester half, and it's Antonio to the left hand side, and Benrahma rolls in from that left hand side and rides a challenge, and is bumped on a second. No free kick is given, but West Ham United pick up the ball again. The pressure is intense on that Leicester penalty area, and it's worked away, hopefully to some sort of respite for them by Ricardo Pereira. He's bumped to the ground, not much of a touch there according to West Ham fans, but a free kick is given Leicester's way. What a save this was, Chris.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. The thing is West Ham have that aerial presence, don't they? Souček drifting into the box, and Antonio, the ball's right on the money. Antonio level with Schmeichel's right-hand post, 7 yards out, tries to power the header back across Schmeichel, who leaps to his left-hand side and gets his left hand on the ball and keeps it out. Brilliant save, stunning reaction save from Schmeichel.
427 games for Leicester. How many bad ones have there been in those? That long spell, what is it now, 10 years and counting at the club. Surely over the last decade, the most consistent Premier League goalkeeper. Here now is Barnes. This is a good drive into the West Ham box, and he's seen off by Sofal.
Persistent defending that from Sofal. Had to bide his time because Barnes was up to speed, driving into the West Ham box. Just what a big save that may end up being for Brendan Rodgers' team.
Thomas tries to work his way down the left-hand touchline for Leicester from a tight throw in, too tight to the line, and he's rolled it out of play. And who's that down there? It's Bowen. Jared Bowen is just replacing the boot. He just lost his boot down there, and West Ham take the throw in. Again, it's a poor throw in. There are more restarts in the game of football from throw-ins than any other restart. How many good ones do you see on that left-hand side now? It's Cresswell bombing forward, halfway inside the Leicester half, maybe a little bit more, tight to the line, yard in, left side, pulls it back to Rice, has a look, Souček is to his right-hand side. Leicester have drawn back down to 10 men.
Do clubs not have throw-in coaches now, Jonathan?
Yes, they have all sorts of coaches, don't they?
Well, what on earth are they paying them for?
How many decent restarts you see from throw really annoys me. Not much annoys me, as you know, Chris. I'm a happy-go-lucky sort of a soul. Never complain about anything in life. Here's Souček. But I'll tell you, it makes me mad.
Is there anything which annoys you more than that?
How long have you got? Here's Fornells. Have you got all night? I could give you a list. On the right-hand side now, it's Sofal down the line. Back it goes from Bowen. Fornells. To his left is Rice. Strokes the ball into Souček. Bonner, all the space in East London to work it. Leicester just trying to dig in here. Whether the early second half storm. Into the box it goes. Antonio plays left-hand side. Benrahma stumbles, rolls forward. Nothing on there, just a goal kick.
Oh, the build-up play was absolutely first class. Does Benrahma go down too easily? I think he does. Shake of the head from James Maddison as Antonio eventually out to Benrahma. He's on his way down. He's tried to buy that one. I think Benrahma, Maddison behind him, slightest contact. I think he's better than that, Jonathan.
That'll make your diving thing, won't it?
Oh, I'm glad you listened to it. The simulation game.
That's right.
Been going for a few years.
That's a dreadful back pass. Antonio in the box, rolls in square. West Ham with a second. Benrahma, and Schmeichel looks to the Turkish defender, who puts his head in his hands. He has gifted West Ham United a second goal. 10 minutes into the second half. Leicester City, it's going to be a long night. Down to 10 men, and they have made an absolute gift of the second.
Oh, this is awful. From the big Turk at the back, Soyuncu, under no pressure. It's just a massive lack of concentration. It's an up and under, takes the ball towards the left-hand touchline, doesn't look for Schmeichel, fires the ball back, and Antonio is really cool in this situation. He does so well, Antonio. Takes a touch with his left foot, composes himself, lays the ball back to Benrahma, who's 7 yards out, centre of the goal. He picks his spot. 2-0 West Ham.
He's already doubled his tally from last season. 2-2 for Said Benrahma, and West Ham United are cruising now to win 2 in 2, or are they? Because here last season, West Ham fans remember them being in a commanding position with goals from Lingard, a couple, and Bowen, and then didn't Iheanacho scare the pants off them with a couple for Leicester City?
Different feel though. Leicester down to 10 men. Brilliant from Antonio.
Here's Barnes for Leicester City. rolls it into his right. Maddison cuffs the shot that's blocked by Ogbonna as he turned to his left-hand side. He got the block in, and Leicester have it back inside their own half. Here's Soyuncu. He'd be devastated by the mistake.
Well, it was really poor play, but Antonio, alert as ever. He's been excellent all evening. We know he gets important goals, but he's such a good team player, and the way he just composed himself in that situation. I think a lot of strikers would have tried to take the shot on first time. Maybe the angle was against him. Composed himself, got his head up. Lovely weight of pass into Benrahma, 7 yards out. Goal at his mercy. Jonathan, you would have tucked that in.
Maybe deflection. I might have needed. Here's Sopal on the right-hand side for West Ham United. Leicester now need big leadership. No Johnny Evans, of course.
They need a miracle.
Yeah. They need strong character. See the way that Kasper Schmeichel a minute ago played it, kicked it out for touch. They couldn't pass out from the back. West Ham have pressurised. They've run. They've worked. They've taken the goals well. And Leicester City have been a poor second tonight. On 5 Live from the BBC, approaching the hour.
Listen to this.
Sopal came across to take a throw, and he was greeted like a Greek god by the West Ham United fans who hailed him. He took the throw in poorly, another one, and Leicester City can break off it, but Barnes misplaces the ball in behind Jamie Vardy. A disparaging look and a slump of the shoulders by the former England striker. And West Ham have it back again with Ogbonna, who opens his body, turns out to the left-hand side and brings in Cresswell, the left full-back, rolls his left boot over the ball. A red left boot for West Ham United. There's no pressure on him. He has all the time in the world to play left-hand side, and it's Fornals who knocks it back to Ogbonna. And West Ham United, precise short passing with no pressure on them. This could go on all second half.
Yeah, it's just important for David Moyes' team's point of view that they keep composed and keep calm. See Dawson at the back, always watchful, pulling Ogbonna in alongside him. So let's watch out for Jamie Vardy. That's the threat, isn't it? You just wonder, looking at the Leicester bench, what options they have on that. Batson Daka.
Saw him a lot for Salzburg, gets goals, he does. And I think West Ham United were one of the other clubs you were telling me, Chris, that were looking at him but didn't get him.
Oh, absolutely. Phenomenal season last season. Blistering pace he has.
Ogbonna gets it away for West Ham United. That win over Leicester here last season ended Leicester's long unbeaten run of 13 games, and they did tail off after that. Compete at home to Newcastle and away at Chelsea, and Tottenham at home on the last day, of course, and the chance of Champions League football was gone. But to win the cup, followed up with a Community Shield, punching above their weight, you would say, with the big money spenders around them. But here's West Ham United's Benrahma. It's been West Ham's night, not Leicester's. Declan Rice, composed, never seems to be hurried. To his right was Souček. Here's Sopal, bends in across, deflected away by young Luke Thomas, and it's going to be a corner ball then for West Ham United on their right hand side.
And they've used the ball really well, West Ham, in this second half. As soon as it goes out wide, they look to get the ball in. They have that physicality, that aerial threat.
Leicester have more international caps in their side, more club appearances in their side. The squad is worth more money than West Ham. The big stat that matters on the two scoreboards at either end: West Ham 2, Leicester 0. In comes the corner towards the near post, flicked on by Ogbonna, looking for Antonio. Was he looking for Souček coming in? Not too sure. Anyway, it's a goal kick.
His delivery is so good. Jared Bowen, another great piece of business from David Moyes. And I think he's getting better and better. I think he's used the ball very well. Some of his deft little flicks have come off to good effect. He has that goal threat, doesn't he? Always looking to run in behind and offer himself up.
Leicester have it back with Barnes on the halfway line. David Moyes thought there was a foul there on Jared Bowen. Side Benrahma, by the way.
So well, Antonio.
Here's Antonio to Benrahma. Here's Benrahma, isolated. with Amati, pulls it back to Antonio, edge of the D, plants his shot. Another very, very fine save by Kasper Schmeichel, without whom it would be 4-0.
Out of possession, Antonio works back, nicks the ball off Tielemans, feeds it out to Benrahma on the left-hand side. He cuts back, plays the ball back to Antonio. Oh, and he's 20 yards out, and he's trying to bend the ball into Schmeichel's left-hand corner, and Schmeichel gets a fingertip around the post.
1 for 50 for West Ham, 2 for 100 in his career, 1 to become West Ham's highest ever scorer in the Premier League. He's looking for it. Bowen will take that corner kick in towards the near post. Little flick on, comes back to the edge of the D. Big hammer blow by Cresswell, the left back, and it flew over the bar. And Leicester City here can only hope that the coach driver has the engine running and they can leave East London quickly with a 2-0 deficit.
Oh, blimey. As that ball's dropping, you're thinking, if anyone can, Cresswell can. On the 18-yard line with his left foot, composes himself. Oh, and that's inches over the Leicester City crossbar. Lots of dip on the shot. Not far away at all.
Antonio looking to join Said Benrahma as the fourth player. Benrahma is the third player in West Ham's history to score in both of their opening 2 matches of a Premier League season. Antonio's up and running to pressurise Amati, who turns and gets it away. It's offside anyway. The previous 2, by the way, John Hartson 97-98 and Bobby Zamora in 2006-2007. And here comes Leicester City's substitute, and off goes Harvey Barnes, and on for Leicester City comes Patson Daka. Well, we've talked about him and we get a chance to see him. Came on, this is his second substitution appearance of the season. You were talking about last season for Salzburg, 34 goals and 41 in all competitions.
Yeah, very prolific. He's coming on at a stage where Leicester have a mountain to climb.
Under 20 African Cup of Nations winner in 2017. He won the Golden Ball with Zambia. And he's gone into centre forward supporting role alongside Vardy.
Gone 2 up top now, haven't they? It's brave from Brendan Rodgers. The workload on that midfield 3 now. See Tielemans pushing on a little bit, indeed he just sitting in. And Maddison to the left. There'll be more chances for West Ham.
I wonder about the future of Lecce Nacho, who finished the season so strongly, but
Scored 2 here, didn't he?
yeah, and has a great record against West Ham United. And it's Daka who's come on first, and West Ham attacking again through Benrahma, and it's blocked by Suunchu inside that Leicester City penalty area and cleared away. Lovely to see the fans back in the grounds, and I hope that love affair continues for the rest of the season. I certainly don't want any of the scenes that we've seen in France yesterday. It's shocking. Nice against Marseille. Cresswell, ball into the penalty area. Tielemans lifts the right foot, blocks it, but at the expense of a corner kick. Leicester look weary. They played the extra game, the Community Shield, of course, but that shouldn't really count.
The thing is, when West Ham aren't changing the game plan, ball goes out wide. Cresswell there tries to whip across in. They're going for the kill, West Ham.
6th corner for West Ham. Leicester have not had one yet. Cresswell will swing this away then. Left-footed, Antonio's in the 6-yard area. Swings out. In comes Dawson. It's cleared away to Fornals. 5 yards outside the box. Pulls it away to the right-hand side. Here's Bowen. Oh, the defender slipped. Bowen's into the penalty area. And just in the nick of time, Wilfred Ndidi, having slipped, snuck out a foot and got it away for a corner kick.
What lovely balance. Lovely feet from Jared Bowen. Really brilliant. Gets away from Ndidi. Ndidi just got back with his big left boot to the ball. Another corner. What's the corner count?
7 now for West Ham United. None for Leicester. Bowen will take it, left-footed into the near post area. Who got that one away? Suunchu was in there, but it came off Dawson, was it? It's going to be a goal kick. He stayed down, Dawson. He's okay. He's on his hunkers, as Frank McClintock used to say when you worked with me in a commentary position a long time ago. Hunkers? Is that a Scottish phrase? Haunches? Hunkers? Did you use? Were you ever on your hunkers?
I'll have to Google hunkers.
Well, what? Be careful. What?
There's Bowen. I mean, what a performance.
West Ham United's fans are really loving this. What is it, 17 months since they were last here in these numbers? And well, let's hope the action and entertainment and drama continues tomorrow on 5 Live with the EFL Cup commentaries next couple of nights. Tomorrow Barrow, Aston Villa 7:45 with reporters at the 10 other cup games. Wednesday West Bromwich Albion and Arsenal. That's an 8 o'clock kick-off, so join us for that one. And then don't forget 10 o'clock tonight, Ellie Oldroyd talking with Ian Botham about Headingley 81, 40 years on. And what a privilege it has been for me to know Ellie Oldroyd over the years. She is a pioneer, she's a wonderful broadcaster and a terrific journalist. So listen out for that one. Here's West Ham on the attack. Bowen just outside the penalty area. A strong challenge on him by Ndidi, and it's clipped away. West Ham Bowen into the penalty, slipped it through to Fornals. You can see another West Ham goal coming in every attack they have, and Leicester City are clinging on. But Madison to Vardy's pulled out wide to the left-hand touchline, control outside of the right boot. Lovely ball back to Madison. Drops his shoulder one way, wriggles the other between the penalty box and the touchline, not on the edge of the box. In comes across, Thacker missed it. Tielemans gets one effort on it, gets a second, and bundles it into the back of the net. And Leicester are back in the game. West Ham 2, Leicester 1, 69 minutes on the clock.
Well, that's all it takes. Tielemans gets a second bite of the cherry, and Leicester have barely been in West Ham's half. They break away on the left-hand side. Vardy does well, finds Madison on the corner of the box, and Madison, tricky feet, feeds the ball in. Couple of deflections. Tielemans with a left foot strike around the penalty spot area, and the ball cannons back to him. And when it comes back to him, he prods the ball past Fabianski. Lifeline for Leicester.
Well, this would be astonishing. His first effort was blocked, came back onto his chest, and as it dropped, he reacted smartly.
Is he checking something? Maybe a possible handball
by Tielemans. I thought it hit him on the chest, I have to say.
Yeah, it's given.
Goal given. Check very quickly done. And Tielemans off and running, his first goal since the cup final. Not as spectacular as that one. He's been one of Leicester's best players. Here's one of West Ham's, Fornals, left-hand side. Cresswell tries to get the block in.
And he composed himself well, didn't he, Tielemans, when he got that second opportunity. Brendan Rodgers pacing his technical area now. He'll be feeling a lot better.
Foot left in there. Foot left in by Pereira. One of the West Ham players is down on the far side. It's a yellow card. See this one again, Chris.
Oh yeah, it's one of those where Ricardo Pereira's putting Cresswell under pressure. Cresswell just pops the ball off, and Pereira's already committed, stands on his toe.
Well, it's given. There's a free kick to West Ham United, 18 yards from the dead ball line, about a foot in from the far touchline. That's the West Ham left then. You listen to 5 Live on the BBC on a balmy August evening. Been lovely and warm here. Beautiful sunny afternoon it was. And Cresswell with a cross into the penalty area, glanced through the box by one of the Leicester players, Vardy it was, and then cleared by Luke Thomas, but it's collected by Bowen, who had time to trundle across, pick it up, roll it back to Sofal. The cross looks for Antonio, headed away by Suunchuk. And all of a sudden there are a few alarmed oohs and ahs from West Ham fans as Leicester pick it up, and the Leicester supporters away to our right hand side, cheering every moment. low down behind Schmeichel's goal, and up behind him in that segment of the stand as well. Not too sure how some of them can see. They seem to be behind the big scoreboard. That can't be right. They must be able to see. And here's Suanchu.
Yeah, that would be quite unusual to seat somebody directly behind a huge scoreboard, Jonathan.
I can see the optical illusion it gives. It looks as if they can't, but anyway, they must be able to. Leicester attacking down the right-hand side. This is a strong run on that right-hand side. Vardy swings across too high through, and there'll be a West Ham United throw. He swung it from just inside the box, the right-hand touchline, right-hand side of the box, dead ball line, all the way through.
There's a good ball in, and Vardy has that pace. Gets there first. It's not a good ball. Really not for a player of his quality, but you just sense us getting a little bit nervy now around the London Stadium.
West Ham United maturing as a Premier League team to challenge for Europe every year. Leicester already there under Brendan Rodgers. And you look back at calamitous moments in this game. The mistake by Suanchu that made a present of the West Ham second, the sending off of Oyoise Perez.
It's what do we know? We know that they have the craft and guile, Leicester City. Maddison, such a clever player, they have the pace of Vardy and Daka on now. Prolific goal scorer. Brendan Rodgers will be thinking, come on, let's create one more opportunity.
He scored late in a 2-2 draw here in 18-19. Barnes got the leveller. Jamie Vardy scored that day. Antonio scored that day. And Lucas Perez, remember him? Brief spell at West Ham. Here's Antonio down the right-hand touchline. And the ball is rolled under his foot by Luke Thomas's challenge. It's a corner kick.
He's everywhere, isn't he, Antonio? Left, right, central. Moulded himself into a top-class centre-forward. So difficult to play against, has all the attributes, good in the air, holds the ball in, accomplished finisher.
Corner for West Ham. Bowen will take it. Fornals has come short. Maddison is protecting. I think it'll go long though. They've had to play with 34 minutes with 10 men, Leicester. In comes a high cross, met at the far post by Dawson, headed down and volleyed away towards the left-hand touchline by Suanchu. Collected, good touch by Cresswell. Here's a fine run by Ben Rama, found by Rice to the dead ball line, rolls it back up that left-hand touchline, and Cresswell rolls the ball under sole of the boot, gives it to Ben Rama again, cuts a brilliant pass. Rice is there, cross into the penalty area. Dawson arrives, header hits the stanchion behind the goal. Goal kick.
Dawson saying should be a corner. So well worked, lovely reverse pass from Ben Rama into Rice's path. It was away on the left-hand side of the box. He just stands up, ball up to the far post, and Dawson leaps high and tries to power a header back across. He thought it came off a Leicester defender though.
West Ham 2, Leicester 1. West Ham have scored 6 goals in their opening 2 games. And they look full of attacking portent and potency. And they're playing against the cup holders. They're playing against a very good side, and they've played some delicious football, West Ham. And it's been a hard night for Leicester, and if Leicester can get anything out of this, it will be a tribute to their character. West Ham have it, 2-1 up, 14 minutes to go. To the left of the centre circle, Declan Rice sprays the ball to the left touchline. Then Rama will attack that Leicester penalty area, cuts inside, right foot cross looking for Antonio. Suanchu dropped back and headed it away. But Leicester will be under pressure again as Rice finds Ben Rama on that left-hand touchline. He pushes it down the line to Cresswell, takes the return with his orange-coloured boots, cuts in with a tinted hair, finds a blonde-haired Souček and away to his Czech compatriot Sopal. Then comes a lovely low cross, and oh goodness me, it's sliced behind his own goal by Suanchu. Nearly another horrible moment for him. It's a corner ball.
Oh, he got away with that one, didn't he? Suanchu, lovely ball. Check to check, and the ball whipped in at the near post. Suanchu takes up a good position, but with the outside of his right boot, goes over his own crossbar.
rueful from Leicester City's Turkish defender with the long hair, struggling with sweat and a little bun tied up behind the hair. It looks like a goatee, bit of a goatee going on this year. In comes the corner kick for West Ham United now. Played back by Bowen. Ben Rama steadies himself. Right foot cross to the far side. Looking for Dawson again, getting up. Well, they get quality ball in from wide positions.
Well, they do, and they have so many players who are good in the air. Dawson, Bonner, Soucek, Antonio. Big danger from set pieces last season as Brendan Rodgers looks to make more changes.
He's going to bring on Kelechi Iheanacho. We spoke about him, and Boubakary Soumare, who's a fine, really good signing from Lille. I think Leicester fans are going to enjoy seeing him. He works really hard. He's a central midfield player who can get forward. Probably didn't get enough goals. Hasn't got enough goals that he merited. I mean, he only scored the one for Lille in the title win last season. He didn't find the back of the net, but he gets into good shooting positions. And Iheanacho, we knew from last season that there are goals in him as he rediscovered that form he had as a youngster at Manchester City, sort of fulfilling his potential. Here's Cresswell and Ben Rama. 12 and a half to go, 11 and a half to go. Ben Rama with a cross to the far side. It's half headed away. Fornals is there, headed away by Soyuncu. And now West Ham have it right hand touchline. So far down the line. Fornals.
David Moyes just saying to Soucek, just hold your position. It's been more Soucek drifting into the box. He's just sitting in there now as Rice goes forward for West Ham.
And takes the return and gets a low cross in. Antonio holding up, swivel, spins and scores a beautiful goal for West Ham United. There it is. He's their highest Premier League goal scorer. Mikel Antonio, beautiful old-fashioned centre-forward play, held it up, rolled his hips, turned to his left-hand side, from his left to his right, and hammered the ball low. And he comes across towards this near side, and he picks up an effigy down below us, a cardboard cutout, and he hugs it, and he celebrates with the fans, and it's 3-1 West Ham.
But that was an effigy of himself.
Correct.
But I tell you what a brilliant centre-forwards goal this is. The ball whipped in from the left-hand side, and he gets across Soyuncu, level with the near post. And he says to Soyuncu, get out of the way here. Great first touch with his left foot, swivels with his right foot, third touch, bang! Into the far corner. Powerful finish. No chance for Schmeichel. Great centre-forward player, really is. Leaves Soyuncu in his wake. Super first touch. Another touch to set it up, and then hammers the ball into the far corner. No goalkeeper's going to save that. And some celebration. He's having himself, but why not?
Well, he's famous for his goal celebrations. He improvises, but he knew exactly what he was doing there. He ran across to this near touchline, and he hugged. I've never seen anything like that. He hugged this big cardboard cutout of himself, and why not? Lovely goal. Here's Soumare, come on for Maddison, and Iheanacho's come on for Vardy as well. And the night is lost now for West Ham, surely. It's 3-1 down with 9 minutes to go.
I mean, it's some confidence as well, isn't it, to have a big cardboard cutout of yourself on the bench as well.
It's his 50th for the club. He's now ahead of Paulo Di Canio as the club's all-time top scorer in the Premier League. And he's worked very, very hard. That front line for West Ham United has pace, it has guile. They've got goals in that front three as well, 7 in 2 games now. And there's just how many times since they moved here from Upton Park has there been a flat, deflated, melancholy air about the place. They've struggled to fill it with noise. Too often too flat, too despairing. Now it's a buoyant West Ham United. The noise comes flooding around this stadium, made so famous 9 years ago now, and the legacy of London 2012 remains, with the noise that this stadium can create when it is vibrant, when there is hope. And there is certainly that about West Ham United, and all credit to David Moyes and all his coaches. He's got thoroughbred football people all around him in the coaching setup here.
Did we talk about the Leicester changes, Jonathan? Have we mentioned? Yeah. Got lost in that goal from Antonio.
Nacho on and Sumari. I do think the Leicester fans are going to enjoy seeing him. He loves a tackle, but it'll take just some getting used to, having won the title with Lille last year. Antonio will surely put the game to bed.
You mentioned his all-round play. Leads the line superbly, doesn't he? Drifts into wide areas at times. You think about how many times has he pinched the ball back when Leicester have been in possession.
Well, they're loving this, West Ham. There's a very emotive montage of shots of pictures before the game of those who've lost their lives during West Ham. Oh, he's in there again, Antonio! How about this? The ball in from the right-hand side, and Antonio reacted, and the Leicester defenders were sleeping, and he just flexed and he tucked it beyond Schmeichel. It has been an emotive night. It has been an emotional night. It's been a spectacular night for West Ham United. Antonio gets his second. I think that's 100 in his career. West Ham 4, Leicester City 1.
Oh, what a performance! What a performance from Antonio. Said when they get the ball in wide areas, they put the ball in. And you can criticise the Leicester defending. Yes, you can. It's Sofal down the right-hand side, early cross in. I think it's Amati who commits, but Antonio, with his back to goal, takes a wonderful, wonderful first touch. Schmeichel comes out, and Antonio, with his studs, just prods the ball past him. This is a masterclass from Antonio. It really is.
He stretched, he wanted it more. Schmeichel couldn't get there. Ricardo Pereira tried to cover.
What a first touch. What a first touch that is. And then he has the athleticism to get there, lunges at the ball. This is turning into a rout.
Brilliant for West Ham United. I was going to say they put up a wall of images of those who've lost their lives during COVID. Beforehand there were cheers, there was reflection, there were a few tears, and all these fans back inside the London Stadium. Not a full house, but it's way over 50,000, and the emotion will continue because Martin Noble, in his last ever season as a West Ham player, Mr. West Ham, is going to come on, and so too Yarmolenko. And well, if you're a Leicester supporter, you had that hope with the goal, but it's been wiped away. 2 quick goals for West Ham from Antonio, and here they come again. They've not finished yet. It's a long, lung-busting run here from Sofal, carried 30 yards. Bowen back to Souček. And great cheers for every West Ham United touch. Live in the BBC. Privileged to be here at a stadium with fans. Privileged to be at all the stadia this year. We were lucky enough to carry on our work during the lockdown.
David Moyes, Jonathan, deserves this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's earned this. The performances last season, absolutely phenomenal. They were.
This should be his 28th win in 58 games in his second spell. We're talking nearly 50%, and that is a tremendous strike rate for a manager at this level. But not a good ball by Sofal, and intercepted then by Wilfred Ndidi, who lengthens his stride and looks for the run up here of Iheanacho, and out comes the goalkeeper, who's had hardly a save to make, to be honest, and he wanted that one more, and Fabianski got there. One shot on target from Leicester tonight has given them their one goal, but Chris Sutton, they have been totally outclassed, outplayed, outrun, outthought.
Outfoxed by a brilliant West Ham team. From the off, 11v11, they were the better team, had the bigger threat, really well organised defensively, looked to counter-attack, but they've had the advantage, numerical advantage in the second half, and they've made it count to brilliant effect. The forward players have been scintillating, and they're still going.
Benrahma, the header popped out wide of Souček. Benrahma continues his run across close to, and she thinks better about a challenge unless they force Benrahma wide. So Ricardo Pereira gets a block challenge. It's going to be a throw-in. Well, that's probably been Leicester's best defender. On come the late substitutes for West Ham United, and it'll give the West Ham fans a chance to roar their approval for a couple of their heroes. Benrahma will be replaced by Mark Noble. Antonio is trotting towards this near side. You listen to this roar in a minute. Yarmolenko is going to come on for him.
Listen to that roar, but what is David Moyes doing, taking Mikel Antonio off? Is in my fantasy team, and I'm going to lose a head-to-head against Chris Stark by a point. Jonathan.
Well done, David Moyes. He read that note I sent him down at half-time. Get him off.
What's he doing?
And thwart Sutton's plans. You're a striker, you're on a hat-trick. Do you want to have the applause of the crowd? Do you want the hat-trick?
No, you want the hat-trick. Oh, what's he doing?
Fabianski between the penalty box and the far touchline tried to play out, dribble it away, and he was caught by Patson Daka. It's going to be a throw to Leicester. The goalkeeper stayed down.
Tielemans did him a favour there, didn't he? By not taking the throw in quickly.
Not too sure whether his foot is hurt or his pride is hurt there, Chris, to be honest.
Took a chance, didn't he? Remember the Dean Saunders incident, Sheffield United? Did he not take a throw in quickly, chuck it off? Was it a goalkeeper's back and ended up scoring?
Oh yeah,
he did, yeah.
That's right. Throw into Leicester. West Ham United looking for third win in succession against them. We've got a Pereira cutting in from the right-hand side, loses possession. West Ham pick it up again, and Declan Rice is clipped and tripped and goes down. What an imperious display by him today.
Oh, he's such an important player. Just, I think last season he was outstanding. Such dynamism in the middle of the park. I mean, it's a great pairing, isn't it, him and Souček?
We're seeing a cutaway of Antonio laughing and joking down there in that West Ham United substitutes box, sharing a few words with Ryan Fredericks there. 3 minutes of stoppage time being played to lengthen Leicester's misery. And the memories of the Community Shield success and that win over Wolves short-lived. And Patson Daka's just left the foot in there on Dawson. But don't be surprised to see that from him this season. He's an industrious striker who can score goals. Only a young man still. But he'll take a challenge and he'll put one in as well. He is so foul, strokes to the edge of the box, and Byrne was offside. The flag is raised belatedly.
Getting carried away, West Ham. Dawson trying to play little 1-2s, marauding forward. What a start to the season for West Ham. Good victory at Newcastle, scoring 4.
Here's Cresswell. What a change from last season when they lost here against Newcastle and were beaten at Arsenal, 2 defeats in 2, and people started to raise eyebrows again. And what a wonderful campaign they had, a record points tally, 65. Here's Noble. Burton comes down on his West Ham career at the end of this season. I hope he plays a meaningful part in this campaign. He certainly wants to. This his 526th game 18 years. Mark Noble been a pro here. Yarmolenko deep in to stop his dive. One of the most evocative songs of them all. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. Rings around East London. Several hundred have left early. I don't know how they can do that. Maybe need to get an early train. Here's Yarmolenko. Down the line goes so far. Yarmolenko holds on to it. Enigmatic player. Darts to the dead ball line, thrashes in across, straight at Kasper Schmeichel. You think of the saves. Schmeichel made 2 fantastic saves. Chris, it could have been 6.
No, absolutely. What a dominant display. And starting off the season, as they finished last season, West Ham in good form, strong form, and they're saying, we're going to push again, we're going to go again.
Have Crystal Palace here at the weekend. Leicester go to Norwich, and Leicester will have to perform far better than they did tonight. West Ham United have blown them away by 4 goals to 1. Fornals after 25 minutes. Then Rama, after a horrible error by Soyuncu, made it 2. Leicester already down to 10 men with the sending off of Oyoze Perez. Tielemans gave Leicester hope with 69 minutes on the clock, and then rat-a-tat-tat, Mikel Antonio, 2 in 4 minutes. West Ham top scorer in their Premier League history, Chris, and West Ham have won it 4-1.
Yeah, brilliant performance from West Ham. Leicester City, well and truly hammered, didn't offer a lot. The sending off, you could say, changed the game. Brendan Rodgers may feel that way, but West Ham 11v11 were the better team in second half. Absolutely phenomenal. Antonio, unplayable. Strong display and another 3 points. Great start to the season, and listen to this.
Brilliant to be here tonight, Mark, unless you're a Leicester fan, but this is always a special song. Bubbles being blown at West Ham United. They've beaten Leicester by 4 goals to 1.